Welcome to Growing Dads.
Where I'm Kleph.
And I'm Rich.
And we're Growing Dads. We're discussing everything growing dads want to know and growing families, no matter how your family is constructed.
Growing Dads is all about inspiring all individuals with real-life topics, creating change, and talking through open dialogue. Growing Dads starts in 3,
2,
1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back again. Looking good, man.
We're live in full effect right now. And I'm doing something that we typically don't do. Shout out to my nephew Ramon right now. We in a live recording, but listen, Kleph, I'm tired of saying that we coming back, we going here, back again, back again, but
we do what we gotta do. We make it happen.
This
is
shit.
Life. This
dad shit?
Real life.
Yo, y'all moms don't work like we work.
Yo, this afternoon was crazy. I mean, he got a baby in the hand. He opening up rice.
No. When I mean y'all moms don't work like we work, like dads get a stigmatism like we don't do shit. Like moms get the glory. Like moms work hard as fuck. You know what? Some dads don't do what we do.
That's why we're special.
Some moms don't do what we do.
That's true. It takes a special person.
But guess what? When I'm a grandparent, I ain't doing shit.
Yes, sir. All right. So, first of all, man, good to see you again, man. You looking real good. Looking pretty young and dapper.
Fuck you.
Come on. Shaved off like 5 years off of.
Let me grab the dreads. That's the last time I'm gonna see them shits. Cass got them shits pulled up somewhere else.
Hemmed up. But yeah, we're gonna touch on a topic today that's very important.
Shout out to Cass, she with all the kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
We definitely owe her a bottle of wine later. But yeah. So anyways, we're gonna talk about a very important topic.
Let's get into it.
What's going on now? We're going to just jump straight into it. All right. So right now, I'm sure that you guys are aware right now we're dealing with a Roe versus Wade situation. Abortion and the right, woman's right, freedom for her body and all of that. So today we have a topic, a woman's right to choose versus a child's right to fight.
To live?
To live.
All right. I mean, that's going to be the main topic. As you know, we typically do Hot Topic right before we do anything. So Hot Topic is where we throw out 2 or 3 main events that's currently going on right now. And then from there, we get you involved with everything that's going on. Give me a second, 'cause I'm going to go live a little bit with us on our Growing Dads page. And if you guys have any questions, you're tuning in, by all means. We're only going to have this running for the first 5 minutes. So, Hot Topic. You ready?
Yes, sir. Let's let it rip.
How do you feel with the current climate right now with inflation? Let's talk about inflation and what parents should be thinking about.
Okay. Well, with the inflation, unfortunately, the cost of living always goes up, so there's nothing that we can really do about that, except we definitely can adjust at the rate that it goes up. And it sucks the way things are going. I understand, like right now, we have global stuff going on. Ukraine, prayers out to all those out there, not only the Ukrainians, but also the other citizens and visitors that's there, students. We have students from the Caribbean. We have students and people from Africa and all different places around the world there too. So everybody's life is valuable. But yeah, with that, yes, we see gas prices flying up and creating havoc with a lot of financing right now. So in terms of that, my thought on that is we just have to be adaptable. We have to know that we are the ones that are going to save ourselves. All right. We can't depend on the government. We can't depend on God gave us common sense, gave us health, gave us the ability to go out there and do. So yeah, the climate is sticky and things is tight, but there are solutions. There are alternatives out there. You know, whether if it's you do an online course or whether you find a side hustle, whether you do there's if you seek, you will
You will
find.
find. I
You know
get
what I
it.
mean? So you just got to go out there and be proactive. But yeah, I don't I don't like it. I don't like the fact that having to shell out more to maintain.
Do you think people really understand what's going on with inflation in terms of the actual technicalities behind it?
No, and I don't think for most people it doesn't matter the technicalities. It's just what affects them. What affects their family and their sphere of influence. And when they go to the supermarket and they see that uh, the cart's contents are shrinking and the amount of
The
the
bill
bill
is higher.
is growing, yeah, it affects them. They don't care about who, if it's Democrat, if it's a Republican, who's causing, or as our current administration, they throw these little things, Putin's price hikes or all these blame games, which I don't agree with. But
So,
yeah,
what you saying that, just to give you guys a little bit of context, what really it is in layman's terms, and you guys are not layman's by any means, just in case you don't know. Inflation basically means you have $100, and that $100 that what it was last year now really represents, in reality, $85 this year. It's the same $100 bill, but it only could purchase $85 worth of goods. So that's what inflation means: is that the price of goods is going up while you keep on getting the same level of pay, and to sustain itself, as you look at rent and as you look at food and as you look at other bills, it's harder to deliver those goods to the supplier, right? And from being delivered to the supplier at a higher cost, it's harder to deliver those goods to a consumer, right? And then after you deliver it to the consumer, at that point, things change completely, because now what would normally cost your $100, right? It's costing
$20 or
yeah,
50.
100 or 115, 120, 150, because that supply chain piece of it is taking longer to get down the road, or longer to get when it gets to the shelf or to the market to you. It costs, the fuel costs more, or to get the labor costs more. So long story short, that's what inflation looks like. One other hot topic is, are you watching the NBA right now?
No, I'm not.
Are you watching the NFL right now?
No, I'm not.
Do you think parents get sidetracked with too much entertainment?
We all do, yes. But to answer your question, yes.
Do you think that we're teaching and the hot topic is, do realistically, what should parents be really focusing on right now with the plethora of things going on in the world? Inflation, war, uh, disease, viruses.
I think, well, I believe parents should start with personally your own home and then scale out. All right. So everything has to have a priority. Your priority for your household is going to be different. My priority for my household, right? And that's something that each parent, each individual has to be conscious of. So prioritizing what is the needs, what will allow me to sustain myself for the next however long, and then just organizing and structuring your resources in a way that it can sustain yourself. And again, for everybody, it's different. And for your requirements for sustainability may not just be a financial thing. It may be something where you also need the resources of people around to help, whether if it's handling kids while you're able to do other things, or whether if it's, whatever. So that's the main thing. And then from there, just kind of working it out.
Okay.
And yeah, everybody work on that, and I think it'll help ultimately it'll help. Yeah.
So those were the two hot topics that we had. What we want to do is always touch on things that are relevant and trying to get to you guys to let you know, some things that we're thinking about, want to touch on, but really getting it from a parent's perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we have a lot going on and what should be focused on. Me personally, I think that it should be it's a fine balance, right? It's a fine balance in what you're doing between entertainment and kids and family. I think that I think what we should do is actually have the priorities as you have your faith, God first, right? You have your family, and that's broken down into certain caveats. And you have your wife, you have your kids if you have kids. Obviously, this is a parent, this is a family orientated, but not listen to, subscribe. This is fucking not your kids podcast. But and then you have yourself, so you have the family there. Then after family, you have friends and entertainment, right? Because they kind of work hand in hand. And then you have work. And then how do you have that whole balance piece of it? And I think that many times people put that entertainment piece of it because they don't want to deal with certain things, or they have a lot of things that's going on in your mind. Just understand that there's certain priorities. And what I want to do moving forward is after this episode, I'm gonna start coming to the episodes with things that you guys can do with your kids for just 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day.
How about we also get their involvement, things that they also do. We all here learning from each other.
Just to engage with your kids. Listen, I have more than fits on one hand. So listen, to spend 10 minutes we're gonna go into almost 2 hours worth of conversations with them, just to get certain things right. And I don't do the good job of always engaging with them for that 5, 10, 15 minutes. But the hot topic piece of here is, before we round it out, is learning how to spend those 10 minutes. And I'm gonna give you a little thing that I did. I told Gab that I was gonna have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
It's me and her. And I came in a little bit late one day. We took a walk. That was probably one of the best conversations I ever had with a person. And it's because not partially because it's my little person. It's just the person I've never been able to openly be open that much with that person.
Right.
But at the same time, also be her be open with me. And it's just having the conversation, hey, how's your day? It's not even that. It's just, hey, listen, I want to just get you alone by yourself and talk to you. And even sitting down, listen, we sat on the curb, had a conversation for about a good 10, 15 minutes. It wasn't really about nothing.
Yeah.
We were talking about the sky, talking about, what I did as a kid. And I told her some stupid shit that I used to do. You know what I mean? And I was open, and I was open with her about a couple things, and she was just like, okay. I figured.
Yeah.
But I felt so kind of butterfly-ish after that. It's like, that's kind of dope. I need to do that some more. So make sure if you can, to sit down with your kid on the curb and talk to him for a little bit, man. It's a great thing to do. I think that's one of the best things to do, is to involve your kids anytime that you may have a brief 5 or 10, 15 minutes. Make sure you do that.
And be intentional about it. You know what I mean? And I think that's where most of that sauce came in, where it really had that impact with you to give you those feelings, is because it was intentionally done, and then the satisfaction from that. And yeah, man, that's dope.
All
that's
right.
dope. So
I'm gonna turn off. My bad. I'm gonna have to get up. I'm not gonna always do that, but I'm turning off the live that we had.
Okay.
Respectfully, because we're gonna get into the episode.
We gonna start rocking and rolling.
The hot topics were brought to you
by taking bigger steps. Taking bigger steps is your online career marketplace platform. That is where, if you are looking to learn and gain more insider knowledge on cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, anything dealing with online and technology space, come check out takingbiggersteps.com. All right. Also, there's
We appreciate
different
taking bigger steps. It looks like they are creating a lot of career pathways in terms of where you are now, meeting you at the exact point where you are now, and just giving you that educational point in front to dive in. And if you're looking to be an entrepreneur and try to figure out how to do certain things, number one, you have to educate yourself. It's an education platform, number one.
Yes.
Number two, after that, it's an engaging platform.
Yes.
So go in there, go to Taking Bigger Steps, go really look at that website. You really have to kind of find out your own niche, your own market, and then dive in.
Yes. Register, sign up, create an account as a user, read content.
We're gonna have to tell them over there to give us a what's that, a promo code?
Yeah, we're gonna have a promo code set up. It's gonna be GDP. You're gonna put in GDP,
and they get 99% off.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They ain't never gonna do that.
No. We got some promotions coming up. We're gonna hear that later. But yeah,
okay.
definitely. It's definitely check that out. That's good. And yes, let's jump into this.
Wade, right?
Roe versus Wade. Yes, a woman's right to choose versus the child's fight to live. Yes. So, first of all, women's rights. Does a woman right, in your opinion, personally, does a woman have the right, and is it in her right to have an abortion? Let it marinate.
Nah.
You're a dad, let it marinate. This is where it gets interesting, guys, because this is what happens. He's a dad, he has many kids, and he loves them. So the love for the child is there. The life is there.
I think, being upfront. So when you have the first thing that the person is thinking about is, does a woman have a right to choose? That's not what we're talking about. Yes, I believe a woman has a right to choose.
Okay.
I also think that it's a three-pronged wheel.
Okay.
And it all circulates around the woman, the child, the man, and then what's in the middle is the decision. Now, I think the child has the right to live, period. Now, if two people agree that the child should live, I think it overweighs one person. Now, just because you agree that the child's going to live and you're not going to support it, that's a completely different other conversation.
Well, the support is a different thing, because that person may not end up being or be the supporter of the child, because there are situations where there's adoptions or but I'm just saying deadbeats where there is only one parent.
My lens. Or there's financial constraints, or there's being upfront, there's rape, or there's a whole bunch of things that go into it.
For sure.
But for me, I think a woman definitely has a right to choose, but not outside of the other people that are involved within that aspect. Do I think that there is a range of life? Yes. Now, if you go fuck somebody and you have sex, and then the next day somebody says, okay, I'm taking a plan B, that's something completely different. The child ain't born yet.
Right.
You talking about 3 months in, then we have a different conversation. You got a heartbeat there, sweetheart. And now, listen, you could go up there and you can have that conversation with God, not me.
Yeah. Well, they actually say that as far as life begins at conception. That's where the sperm fertilizes the egg, right? So at that point, from no, but looking at it though, from like if you're looking at it from like a spiritual aspect or whatnot, and you're involving it from that, technically,
it's living as it comes out your body.
Damn, well, it depends on how many hours, and how well your shooters are. But considering to say like, all right, if you look at the plan B to say like, all right, this is a safe, quick way to escape.
To make sure.
Now, in all actuality, there's different processes that happen. So I did a little bit of research on this, and in terms of the fertilization period, there's after that happens, there's the implantation period, and that's about a week after the fertilization period.
So how long does it take to fertilize an egg?
It'll be a couple hours. It depends. It depends on, because there's processes that go so, and everyone is different. The body's different. But it's still within a short period of time. Within a few hours from that encounter that they had, more or less, with the individual. But after that implantation period, all right, there's the quickening period that happens after there, and that's at 16. So basically, that's when the actual fetus now, or the egg that was in the lining, goes down into the uterus, and then it really starts going off, and that's like a 16 to 17 week process, basically.
That's when they look like that little fucking like dinosaur and shit.
Yeah.
All that
so
shit.
I mean, if you look at it and say, well, yes, at any time there could be a miscarriage or whatever, but technically from the minute that, and this is how I perceive it now, from the minute that egg leaves the lining, and that fetus, I should say, and goes down
it's not
into
the
the
fetus.
uterus.
The sperm has to touch the egg, right? And then it goes down. Then it goes down into the.
No.
Listen,
after the sperm touch the eggs, it goes
listen.
into the lining. That's the implantation period. That's where it's in the lining.
Listen, all I know is if I shoot and it touch the egg, something's supposed to drop out the hole in about 9 months. Word talk.
Yeah, but in terms of with abortion now, and if a woman is going to say, okay, all right, at what stages, like, okay, if I do it within the first month, am I safe? I didn't kill a thing. It wasn't living. Yes, it's a thing, but it's not like life.
Sweetheart, there's life there.
There is life there. Yes, it can still go any way, whether it continues or if it gets menstrual out or whatever. But at the same token, I'm not the judge of anyone. I also agree that a woman should have the right to make whatever decisions that she decides to. I mean, God created us all, and He gave us all the ability to have free will. And with us having free will, it's us to make our decisions.
Kill.
That is true. But again, free will gives you, or gives us, that grace to be able to make these decisions, whether good or bad. But the thing in now that I look at with the whole situation with the Roe versus Wade, and even where my conversation was going, was just to say that, look, just like you were given free will and you came, right, despite the situations that's going on, I believe that living thing, that child, especially if it's past like a month, 2 months, it's already formed a shape and it's already developing things down there, that there should be more options out there. All right. And I think that instead of utilizing that as the main driving force, as to say like, all right, have an abortion, or abortion should be right, and yes, she should just go in there and do that. There should just be more things set in place to help, like to facilitate adoption. Maybe a program to say, well, all right, if there's families that do want children.
I mean, they have those already. I mean,
but make it more prevalent. Make it more lucrative. Make it more of an option there.
So give a woman that's thinking about an abortion. All right, I think we're going a little bit off, but I understand where you're going. But as a parent, and I think where we were about to go is, as a parent, how do you think Wade
the
decision is going to actually affect us as parents, right? Because you can be married, you could be in a relationship, you can not be in a relationship and becoming a parent. How does this decision affect you as a parent? Number one. And number two, to bump it up, if this goes to your kids, how do you think that can affect your children? So, male and female, that's a dynamic thing. So let's chew on the for about 5 minutes. Let's talk about maybe get 2 minutes into it a little bit. I know you got some history behind this, so I think give the users some information, how it actually kind of walk us through the process. Tell us what you would do as a parent if you still single?
Yeah.
I think you can follow him on Instagram or not. I don't know, man. Like, I think he prefer to stay single right now. But how would you manage that being in a relationship?
Yeah.
How would you manage that if you had one of your sons had a situation?
Yeah.
And I know you want a daughter.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have a daughter.
I'm not gonna be the godfather.
Fuck you is.
Nah. I'm gonna be there regardless of what. But I'm gonna be there. Like, Uncle Rich gonna be there. I don't need that title. I'm gonna be in your life regardless.
I know.
You fuck around, do some bitch shit. I'm gonna be there.
You won't be bitch.
But
yeah.
So, and then how do you think that affects the kids? And then I'll go through that too. So I'm going to kick that off to you for about the next 2-3 minutes, if you kind of walk us through that.
Well,
walk us through the process and then.
Well, all right, so I'm going to first start off with this because actually I have had that experience. All right. Yeah. Like, okay, so. One of my I was younger. Like, I was just.
What's crazy?
What's up?
We don't talk about a lot of this shit until we hit this motherfucking table, bro.
Hey, I mean, sometimes that's how life go. But look, that's what makes it sweet. But yeah, my actually one of my first girlfriends. You know, I just came out of high school and was in college. Make a long story short, she had got pregnant, and we ended up doing that. And I
what, having sex?
No, I mean, yes, of course, yes, having sex, but no, and having an abortion. When she had the abortion, and
I don't fuck with you for that one. I don't agree with it, by the way.
You know, this is the thing. At that time, mentally, I did not know as much as I knew now, and at that time, it was something that was early, so it was like within a couple of days after knowing, so it wasn't anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get it, but me personally, I've told every female that I've been with, man, that's not how the fuck I rock. Like, dead ass.
From what, day one, the first one, like, or have you become that more?
No.
Later
like if we rocking, and like I'm already like, but I don't like. I take my time with getting to certain places, but you decide to do some shit like that. That's not a red flag, nigga. That's an open door.
Okay. I mean, yeah, and as I said, that was from a door from the first shorty, or
100 ever since I was small. Cause my mom thought I don't know. Maybe I made that up, but I was about to say my mom thought about an abortion with me. I'm pretty sure, but I don't.
You can't say that, man.
I'm being dead ass.
Unless you got the facts.
I'll call mom right now. What's up?
After the show. Nah. But no, for real.
She'll
like,
be mad as hell if I call her right now.
Yeah, don't call her.
All right.
But yeah, so we went and did
obviously,
it.
I think that's a real fact. I knew she was happy with me, but I think she like thought like, should I have this motherfucker? Because like this shit is real. But go ahead, my bad.
That ain't no shit you say out the fucking house.
I tell the truth.
I get it.
See, the people don't like how I say shit, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, I get it, but still.
And if mom doesn't agree with this fucking shit, then I can't take it back.
We just edit the shit out?
No, I'm not editing shit. It's mom. That's what I thought. Maybe it was what I was drinking.
But the situation with us though, we both did agree to it, you know.
Okay.
And you know, I did feel bad about it after, and it did affect
with
me.
you psychologically?
Psychologically, I had you know bouts with that, issues with that. But in terms of with you know the whole idea of it, I believe that gets approved and things go on. I think it'll water down our future generation in society in terms of, well, it's okay. It kind of desensitizes people more, and especially the kids more, if they're you see a bigger sister, you know, young girl see her bigger sister go through this situation, or one of her friends go to this, and now it's just like, you know, go to the clinic and just off, it's done. And
That's just where we are now.
It is, which is already bad. Just like how, you know, we're having a lot of shootings, we're having a lot of mental health issues. You know, there's a lot of the younger generations, you know, play video games and shooter games, and they're desensitized to like, okay, like.
Got you. So you think that it just becomes the norm? Okay, well, it's, for example, like people play around on Instagram, and listen, you give a girl. I've seen it mad times. Shout out to one of my dudes out in Maryland. I ain't gonna name his name. He already know who he is.
All right.
And he said, listen, you get a box of chocolates, you get a bottle,
Yeah.
you get a Plan B.
Yeah.
I said, damn, really? He said, you fucking right.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna do what I want. Look, got it? This shit, there you go.
But see, even with that though, that's a selfish, immature mentality. And as we develop and
He's
grow,
a smart guy.
Smart academically and book smart, you know, like IQ intelligence is one thing, but EQ intelligence is a whole nother thing. And and keep in mind, we are speaking from a father's perspective, so we already have the mindset of say
of conceiving the child, bringing the child into fruition,
being a provider, protector, you know, taken care of, not like running away from responsibilities, you know, like doing what I want to do, you know. So
I never did what I wanted to do. Hear what I'm saying? I never did what I wanted to do. I did everything I wanted to do.
Okay, quotes.
It sounds crazy. Like, I never did anything I wanted to do. People be, oh, you're selfish. No, I did everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Of course, I wanted to be there. I never did. Like, I've thought, but like. My bad, but go ahead.
Nah. You know how we do. But yeah, so you know, with that, the point of where I'm going, if it just becomes so accessible and so okay, it's you know, it's like back in the 1920s with the massacre in the Tuskegee, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and
Black
you know,
Wall Street.
Black Wall Street, when you know they were deputies and officials were handing out guns to, you know, white men to go and like kill, rape, plunder, pillage, you know the black community at that time. And it was like the norm then. They would hang a black man and send the kids around, and
I get it.
You know,
so it's almost glamorized. Like,
right. Like, it's okay. You. Like, this is cool. Like, okay, this happened. Just like my man said. Okay, well, I get a box of chocolate, get a Plan B, get some, you know, liquor, and I'm good. You know, like, and like it's a good thing, or glamorize it that it's okay. That'll solve the thing. That's how we move, but that's not. So I just think, like, again, not to stray too far, that abortion, if it becomes like legalized and it's normal, it can have that implication on our future.
So you think it should be overturned?
No. What I'm saying, it is okay. See, this is where the situation gets dicey, because at the end of the day, I do believe a woman should have her own rights to make her own decision.
But as a woman, you have to. It's not. See, this is the shit that's even crazy. But it's not like a man can choose to carry a baby either, right? So at that point, yes, she should have her own right. There's other stipulations that, to me, that goes with that right, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have the right. Nobody else can carry the child but you as a female.
Right.
So, yes, it's the right to your body.
Right.
But also, you have an obligation to other individuals outside of your body.
Right. Not in everybody's case, because
No.
again, you
Right,
mentioned
right,
before
right,
in the
right. There's
situation she was
stipulations.
raped, or if there was something bad that happened, or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, I'm not trying to, and where I'm coming from, I'm not saying a woman should have her right. If that is what she chooses, fine. If her and the partner chooses that, and they both make that decision, fine. Because again, I still believe everyone has their freedom of will, and God gave it to us, and I don't think that another man should take it away from us. Now, granted, we're not talking if it's a situation
Careless.
you're careless, or you kill someone, or you do something, or you recklessly do something, or intentionally do something, and it's just like, all right, you get locked up, or your freedom is taken away. But in terms of this now, and with life, so at the end of the day, the point where I'm going is to say, like, I think the way that the laws and the rules should be is that there should just be some level of a support or additional resources to help them choose an alternative way. All right. We're very smart people. We have our civilization as a people. We have,
So
a
there should be
robot on the
so there
Mars.
should be alternatives to
There should be
having
alternative
abortions.
Yeah, not
Okay.
if they want to do it, I'm not saying it to be illegal. Where okay, and I get it. I'm probably going to hear a lot of flack about this, but at the same token, I'm just saying the whole point is there should be more options provided to the pregnant
outside of abortion.
outside of abortion.
Okay, so doesn't the child have a right?
And that's why because the whole point is to say, like, sway or influence the person not to choose abortion. If they do choose it,
here goes the thing. There's also population control that needs to be thought about, regardless of what people are thinking. Listen,
okay, let me tell you something. This big planet that God created, like, that population control thing is I think it's
real.
All right, there is so much wealth. Go ahead.
You can have all the fucking wealth you want. Currency is fucking fake. It's a tool. Guess what? You know what's not fake?
What's that?
At this point, we can have $1 million today, right?
Yeah.
Let's say all the world has $1 million. If the world wants to say, hey, listen, we about to make $1 trillion tomorrow, now we can have $1 trillion. You can't fake how many chickens is on the earth. You can't fake how many fish is in the sea.
Yeah.
There is a turnaround of consumption and the healthy way of producing certain things and vegetation that allows for the population to live. Hence, what China did with the restrictions of having children.
Okay, I get it. But this is the thing. Go ahead.
It's just there. So the things is, as I said earlier today, everybody looks at certain things, and I agree with a woman having the right. I agree with a child having the right. The only thing is that most people leave the child out of the right because, and I'm more to the child's right, because they didn't agree to be here.
Yeah.
None of us agreed to be here. We all could have been aborted. The only thing is that the people either said that they gave in to the decision. That's the only reason you can see us.
Or God's grace just brought us through anyway. They tried, but we...
Yeah, so listen, we slipped and dodged, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
And then there's many times, a lot of people say, hey, what about the women's rights? And they forget the child's rights, bro.
That's the thing that
That's a human being. That's a being.
That's a being.
Can't say human at that time, but it's a being. It's becoming a human at that time. And I'm going to say this, a lot of times they forget the dad's rights too. Now, the dad's rights to me is tertiary. And if you don't know what tertiary means, that means third.
Yeah.
In the
it shouldn't
aspect.
be.
I think also that and that's why you don't get in a situation with somebody that you're not going to have sex with, that you're not thinking about procreating with.
That's why it's a mature thing, and even that having talks and dialogue with our youth in terms of how they choose. Their mate is serious. And when when I was coming up, I mean, I guess every generation. But if you don't have the right instruction on what it really entails when you say like, all right, you're gonna have sex, you really could put yourself in a bind.
And I think we're gonna touch on that in the next episode.
Yeah.
Right before Father's Day, and shout out to y'all for the early fathers. We definitely happy Father's Day. Give you the flowers while you can still smell them. Thank
Happy
you.
Father's Day.
You already know that.
To you.
What I'm gonna say is, I think we need to really have a conversation with our children.
Yeah, it
You
starts
definitely
at
need to
home.
have a conversation with your children. We're going to touch on that a little bit more, but kids making kids, we know, like, it's hard being an adult with kids. So and it's hard being a young adult with kids, because I was a young adult with kids.
But mind you, get this, that was one of the things that the lawmakers were talking about, where one of the reasons why, abortion should stay is to say, like, there's a lot of young ladies out there that find themselves, in a situation where they're pregnant and it ruins their lives because they have the child, and how the economic disparity starts to grow because of that. And then they say,
does.
oh, because of women in certain interstate, cities.
So put it like this. If they leave Roe versus Wade as is,
Yeah.
I think that they may look and turn to something similar to what China looked like. China's stipulations were in terms of having a cap, because at that point having a cap makes you really think.
Yeah, no, but government, that'll be a whole nother topic, with government infringing on our freedoms.
I understand.
China's a communist,
a
different regime.
I understand that. But imagine America says, listen, you could only have 3 kids. Max.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to, like, we understand how the family dynamics are. Now you're not just, because I think a lot of people don't have the conversation with their kids. I think now it's, hey, guess what? You only have three opportunities to give me grandkids.
Yeah, I mean,
per person.
If that, but that wouldn't, because you see how they're going with the guns now, with the the legislation of the guns changing.
But what you asked for was an alternative, and what I'm giving you is a solution.
No, that's not it. Okay, that is a solution. No, that is a solution. That is one solution. I don't think it's a fully viable solution.
Why not?
I mean, I think maybe some kind of like how to have funding, pandemic funding. I'm just trying to say, like, if whoever wanted to do that.
I understand, but imagine this. Regardless of whatever you do, you only allowed 3 kids.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, you don't want to waste it. I get it. Yeah.
Now you have a kid over here, you young, right? I ain't gonna take care of that kid. Now you have a wife or a girlfriend. Oh, I'm ready. I'm definitely gonna have my 3 kids.
I lost one.
Yo, homie, you only can have 2, and you do that. That surely gotta go. Either something gotta give,
yeah,
or because then at that point you have to give it up. Those conversations that allows for transparent conversations, because it's still gonna be some underhanded shit.
Yeah.
But now, listen, I have a kid. Do you take care of it? Well, no, I was young. So now I think it's corrective action behind certain things. I'm not saying that's how it should be, but I'm just there's a different perspective on how to govern it.
Yeah.
Government doesn't need to govern, but I think there needs to be some type of regulation. If it's going to continue to be free, yeah, you know what? Fine, fuck it. If you want fucking 10 kids, then you can have 10 kids. That's fair. People say that's fair. Can you afford 10 kids though?
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. But those are the people who want it. Remember, we're talking about the people who don't want it, and it could be just a situation where they're just in that moment at that time.
Or
yeah, what
actually happens is you're only allowed 3 kids, but you can start selling your kids without having them. Listen, let me get in this. Being dead ass, because now that becomes a commodity.
That's a whole different topic. I mean, it's all on the table. We all just talking. That's the beautiful thing about this situation. We all come together and we talk. And look, we're just trying to find some kind of solutions to make life in the world around us better. A lot of the stuff that's going on, we're not happy with, but we are the only ones that can save ourselves. Us here on planet Earth could save ourselves.
I think
so.
Roe
We just
versus,
gotta.
I think Roe versus Wade creates an interesting topic, and I want to dive into the conversations with children about Roe versus Wade.
I would actually want to also include in others, out there, as far as other parents, people who are parents, even those that aren't parents. Like, how do they feel? Because they might be single now, but later on they might become parents. So just kind of get in the mix of our audience and what you think about the situation.
People see this as a topic,
Yeah.
but I don't think anybody ever thought about it as a parenting topic. It's a huge parenting
It's a
topic.
huge-
Because what if your daughter comes home and now it's overturned?
Okay.
Are you going to keep that? Now, you as a parent, you have to, hence me saying, guess what? You decide to have 2 kids, but now your kid is having a kid. Can you afford that? So, who is making those decisions?
Mm-hmm.
What lawmakers are making those decisions? What lawmakers agree with that?
Yeah.
I think that was amazing. I think that was an amazing topic that you brought up in Roe versus Wade. I think that you should sit down. I'll give you a call to action. Sit down with your kids. Number one, go look at what Roe versus Wade is. I don't want to. If you listen through this whole thing, you should understand that. Number two, after looking at Roe versus Wade, make a decision on it. Not for you. Make a decision on it from looking at your daughter, looking in your daughter's eyes, or looking in your son's eyes, looking in your grandkids' eyes, and saying, how would it affect them?
Yeah.
And then after that, the last thing that you need to do is say, what would their spouse even think? Because we named 3 things.
The
The woman,
the baby.
the baby, and everybody loves babies. So put the baby to the side. But the other spouse, because if that, imagine you have, as a parent or a grandparent, you have a child that doesn't want the child as a female, and that male wants it. You gonna side with them? But they have a right to that child just as much. It may not be the same vessel. Imagine you have a son, and she doesn't want it. And aren't you gonna think differently? Don't be biased. Don't let that hypocrisy set into the veins. I'm gonna leave it to you to close it out. I love you. Make sure you guys are always tuning in. Listen. Consistency is the temperature. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. That's it.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you all for joining us on today's episode. This is definitely a topic that we're going to continue on. We definitely want to hear your feedback. Like, share, follow, comment. Let us know your thoughts on this. This is serious. This does affect our future generations, how our children think, and how the future legacy is affected by just these different laws and things that happen. But thank you all for joining us. We love you. Peace.
Yo, let's go Mountaineers.